Hey guys, Chris here. We're back at Queensland Raceway, our CarExpert test track. Today we've got the i30 N Fastback. It's my first go in an N car and I've been pretty excited to try one of these things out. 6-speed manual transmission, front wheel drive with an LSD there, so should control the slip pretty well. 202 kilowatt, 2-litre turbo with 353 newton meters of torque. So going to be a challenge with the traction, but going to have to manage that on the track. I'm excited to see what sort of numbers it can do, so let's give it a go. So my initial feelings are pretty good. I like the steering wheel, the shape of it, the size of it. It's actually not too big, which is nice in a road car. Nice and precise as well, nice and direct. So back in a manual transmission, so gonna have to heel toe, although it does have a rev match option, which I'll try both of and let you know what I think. Pedals feel good, brakes nice and firm. Always a challenge with the road car going back to a track is how consistently they'll stay firm, those brake pedals. So that will be a challenge. Seats are good. I probably would like a little bit more support, especially in the upper back here, just mid-corner there. I'm moving across a little bit, but definitely not bad. Nice and comfortable in a really good position. I can get nice and low and angled back, which I like. I don't feel on top of the car, which is always a good thing. Also love these drive mode buttons on the wheel. So I've preset the N mode, so I know exactly what I've got there, and I can flick through on the other side into the standard drive modes. With a bit of a tip from Hyundai Australia, well, I've gone for the sports setting on suspension, not the Sports Plus. I've heard a lot of things about how firm this car is, and funny enough, a lot of the development has been in Australia on the suspension. Those guys do a great job there. I've seen it firsthand what they're doing. And their recommendation for this sort of not perfectly smooth track was the Sports, not the Sports Plus. So it feels about right. It still feels pretty firm. All right, let's build up some speed now. Let's get a bit of temperature in the tires, get a feeling for the car, and then start those hot laps where I'm just going to focus on the time. I actually got a bit of a background with Hyundai. I used to race for them in the World Rally Championship, did a lot of the development testing with the WRC car, and you can see the passion in the company to push beyond what they were as a sort of price point car and build some passion about the brand, which is great. And it's my first go in the N car, and so far so good. Stability seems really good. So the suspension's firm, brakes are nice and firm too. Nice and pointy in the front end, which is a good sign in a front wheel drive car. There's a little bit of understeer there, see if it affects us on the flying lap. I love the shift lights. Having these at the top of the dash is so awesome. Really helps know when to shift gear and gives you that race car feel as well. All right, so everything in Sports Plus mode except the suspension, which is in sports mode. Let's try and do a good lap. So there you go, got down to 1019. Actually thought it would be a little bit quicker, but because it felt really good on the track. It did a lot of nice things. The braking was maybe one of the best cars in this sort of segment that I've had. Like, they were super consistent, and most street cars, when you bring them on the track, they'll last a few corners and then fall apart. This was consistent all 4 laps. Traction was excellent off the corner. The LSD was working well. A couple of times it grabbed a little too quickly and I had a little bit of push, but the rest of the time was really good. And And for a front wheel drive car, it had so little understeer. Like mid corner in the long corners, it was awesome. It was well balanced. I could put the car exactly where I wanted it. And like I said, to drive it, it felt amazing. The time was a little bit off, and I started to look at the manual transmission as maybe being a bit of that cost. Even on that quickest lap, I nearly missed a shift coming onto the straight. With the new generation one, the next model coming out with the dual clutch transmission, that's definitely going to help its performance, because I really think there's over half a second in the lap maybe with the manual box. So be excited to see how quick this thing can go. So the bit where I feel like I'm just missing out a little bit is off the corner. Even though it's got quite a bit of torque, I feel like I'm just not carrying enough speed onto the straight, and I don't feel like I'm missing a lot of traction. I almost feel like it could do with a bit more power, a bit more torque, but that's a compliment to the chassis and the rest of the package. So overall, good fun, entertaining, and a real contender in this market segment. So there you go, the i30 Fastback N, my first go on track in the car, and I was not disappointed. That was a lot of fun. Not going to be the quickest car out there, but did great things on the track, really reacted well. You can see the thought that's gone into this. They've got a proper shift light cluster at the top, the suspension work and the tuning that's been done on the steering. You get that feedback that I'm looking for, so that's awesome. My top 3 tips with driving this car. 1, you can really attack the corner entry. It's got a really stable platform, stiff suspension, so you don't have to be afraid of that understeer on the way in, so commit on the entry. And also the exit is really good as well. Lots of traction from the differential, the LSD is working well, so smash the throttle and then you'll fire off the corner. But focus on those gear shifts. I missed one coming onto the straight and it hurt my time a little bit, so really nice and clean on the gear shifts and that manual transmission. When the DCT comes in the future, it's going to be so much quicker, this car, so looking forward to that. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you found the video useful, please hit the like, subscribe, and the bell icon so you get notified every time we publish a new video. And if you have any questions or feedback, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. Take care, and I'll see you again next time.